In the grand ballroom of the Harrington estate, under the glittering chandeliers that had witnessed countless secrets, Elena stood trembling, her maid's uniform soaked in sweat and tears. The ruthless fiancée, Victoria Harrington, lay exposed before the entire gathering, her lies unraveling like a thread pulled too tight. Gasps echoed through the room as the truth hit like a thunderclap. But how did a simple maid bring down the most feared woman in high society? Stick around, because this story of betrayal, courage, and redemption will leave you breathless. Imagine a world where power is everything, and one wrong move can shatter lives. That's the world young Amelia stepped into when she arrived at the Harrington mansion as the new maid. But little did she know, her first day would end with a discovery that could destroy everything, or save it all. As Amelia unpacked her meager belongings in the servants' quarters, a chilling scream pierced the air from upstairs. What horror awaited her in the shadows of this opulent home? Amelia had always been the quiet type, raised in a small town where hard work was the only currency that mattered. Orphaned at 15, she learned early that survival meant keeping your head down and your secrets close. But at 22, with dreams of a better life, she answered an ad for a live-in maid at one of the wealthiest estates in the city. The Harringtons were legends, old money, influence that stretched from boardrooms to ballrooms. Alexander Harrington, the heir, was engaged to Victoria Langford, a woman whose beauty was only matched by her reputation for ruthlessness. Whispers in town said she could ruin a rival with a single phone call, and no one dared cross her. On her first morning, Amelia was summoned to the kitchen by Mrs. Wilkins, the head housekeeper, a stern woman with eyes like steel. "Keep out of Miss Victoria's way," Mrs. Wilkins warned, her voice low. "She's not one for mistakes." Last maid who spilled tea on her gown? Gone the next day, blacklisted from every job in the state. Amelia nodded, her heart pounding. She needed this job, her little brother back home depended on the money she'd send. As she dusted the endless hallways lined with portraits of stern ancestors, Amelia caught her first glimpse of Victoria. The fiancée glided down the staircase like a queen, her designer dress hugging her figure, diamonds sparkling at her throat. Alexander trailed behind, his handsome face etched with fatigue. He was kind, or so the staff said, but under Victoria's thumb. "Darling, make sure the invitations are perfect," Victoria snapped at him, not even glancing at Amelia. But as they passed, Amelia noticed something odd, a faint bruise on Alexander's wrist, hidden under his cuff. She shook it off, it wasn't her place. That evening, while serving dinner in the formal dining room, Amelia overheard fragments of conversation that made her blood run cold. Victoria was laughing with Alexander's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Harrington, about a business deal that would eliminate the competition. Mr. Harrington chuckled uneasily, but his wife looked away, her face pale. As Amelia poured wine, Victoria's eyes locked onto her. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice like ice. "The new maid, ma'am," Amelia replied softly. Victoria's lips curled. "See that you stay invisible." But as Amelia retreated to the kitchen, she found a crumpled note on the floor, slipped from Victoria's purse perhaps. It read, "The evidence is buried. Destroy it before the wedding." Amelia's hands shook. What evidence? Whose? The next few days blurred into a routine of polishing silver and avoiding Victoria's wrath. But Amelia couldn't shake the note. She hid it in her room, telling herself it was nothing. Alexander, though, began to notice her. One afternoon in the library, as she arranged books, he entered looking haggard. "You're new here," he said with a tired smile. "Amelia, right? How are you settling in?" His kindness surprised her. "Fine, sir. Thank you." He sighed, glancing out the window. "This place can be overwhelming." For a moment, his guard dropped, and Amelia saw the sadness in his eyes, the weight of expectations, the pressure of a loveless engagement arranged for business mergers. Victoria's family owned half the city's real estate. The union would make the Harringtons untouchable. But that night, the first real crack appeared. Amelia was tidying Victoria's dressing room when she heard voices from the adjoining bedroom. Peeking through the crack in the door, she saw Victoria on the phone, her face twisted in fury. "I don't care what it takes, make sure he's silenced. The accident needs to look real." Amelia's heart stopped. Accident? Silenced? She backed away, knocking over a perfume bottle. The crash echoed. Victoria whirled around. "Who's there?" she hissed. Amelia fled, but not before Victoria's eyes narrowed in suspicion. Had she been seen? The question haunted Amelia as she lay awake that night. What if Victoria found out? Would she be the next to disappear? Days turned into weeks, and Amelia's unease grew. She bonded with the other staff, old Mr. Jenkins the gardener, who shared stories of the estate's happier days, and young Lily, another maid, who confided that Victoria had fired 3 people in the last month alone. "She's ruthless," Lily whispered. "But Alexander, he's trapped." His parents forced the engagement after his first love left him heartbroken. Amelia learned that Alexander had once been engaged to Elena, a kind woman from a modest background, but Victoria had orchestrated her departure with vicious rumors. Elena vanished, broken. One rainy afternoon, while cleaning the attic, Amelia stumbled upon a locked chest. Curiosity won, she jimmied it open with a hairpin. Inside were letters, photos, and documents, evidence of Victoria's schemes. Forged contracts, blackmail notes, even records of bribes to city officials. At the bottom, a photo of Elena, tear-streaked, with a note, "You win, Victoria. I'm gone." Amelia's stomach churned. This was the evidence from the note. But as she rifled through, footsteps echoed up the stairs. She shoved everything back, heart racing. The door creaked open. Victoria stood there, eyes blazing. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. Amelia stammered, "Just dusting, ma'am." Victoria's gaze flicked to the chest. Did she know? Amelia escaped, but the encounter left her terrified. That night, she decided, she had to tell someone. But who could she trust? Alexander became her unlikely ally. During a late-night encounter in the kitchen, where he sought solace from insomnia, Amelia confessed a sliver of what she'd seen. "Sir, I think Miss Victoria is, not who she seems." Alexander's face darkened. "You don't know what you're saying. She's powerful, her family could ruin us all." But doubt flickered in his eyes. He revealed his own suspicions, strange bank transfers, Victoria's secretive trips. "I loved Elena," he admitted, voice breaking. "But Victoria threatened to expose my family's debts if I didn't marry her." Amelia's empathy surged. She saw in him the same vulnerability she'd felt losing her parents. "We can stop her," she whispered. But as they parted, a shadow moved in the hallway. Someone had been listening. The tension escalated as the wedding approached. Victoria's ruthlessness peaked. She berated staff, manipulated Alexander's parents, and even orchestrated a leak that bankrupted a rival family. Amelia, now secretly gathering more proof, faced her first major challenge, infiltrating Victoria's private study. Late one night, she slipped in, using a key pilfered from Mrs. Wilkins. Rifling through drawers, she found a hidden safe. Cracking it with a code overheard earlier, Victoria's birthdate, arrogantly simple, she uncovered the jackpot. A ledger detailing embezzlement from the Harrington fortune, ties to shady investors, and plans for an accident targeting Alexander's father to seize control. But victory was short-lived. As Amelia photographed the pages with her phone, the door burst open. Victoria stood there, a gun in her hand, sleek, deadly. "I knew you were trouble," she snarled. "Hand it over, or your little brother back home meets an unfortunate end." Amelia froze. How did she know about her brother? Victoria's network was vast. She'd had Amelia investigated. The room spun. Please, Amelia begged, tears welling. This is wrong. You're hurting everyone. Victoria laughed coldly. Power isn't for the weak. Now, give me the phone. Cliffhanger, would Amelia surrender, or fight back in a way that could cost her everything? Amelia's mind raced. In a desperate surge, she lunged, knocking the gun aside. It skittered across the floor. They grappled, Victoria's nails raking Amelia's arm. You'll regret this. Victoria hissed. Amelia, fueled by years of pent-up resilience, pinned her momentarily and grabbed the phone. She bolted from the room, alarms blaring in her head. Down the hall she ran, straight to Alexander's quarters. Pounding on his door, she gasped out the truth. He listened, horror dawning. We have to expose her, now. But Victoria was one step ahead. By morning, she'd spun a web of lies. Amelia was a thief, caught stealing jewels. The police were called. Amelia hid in the basement, heart thundering, as officers searched the estate. Alexander, torn between loyalty and truth, confronted his fiancée. Is it true? The ledger, the threats? Victoria feigned innocence, tears glistening. Darling, she's lying. She's jealous, wants you for herself. Alexander wavered, his love for stability clashing with his conscience. Meanwhile, Amelia reached out to Elena via an old address from the attic. Help me, she pleaded in a message. For Alexander. Elena's response came swiftly. She was in town, hiding from Victoria's reach. They met in a dingy cafe, Elena's eyes haunted but determined. She ruined me, Elena confessed, voice trembling. Spread lies that I was unfaithful, bribed my employer to fire me. I lost everything, my job, my reputation, my love. Amelia shared the evidence, and together they plotted. But trust was fragile. Elena had been burned before. Why risk it all, she asked. Amelia thought of her brother, of her own losses. Because no one should live in fear. We deserve better. Back at the estate, challenges mounted. Victoria isolated Alexander, convincing his parents Amelia was dangerous. Mr. Harrington, weakened by stress, suffered a minor heart episode, suspiciously timed. Amelia snuck back in with Elena's help, disguised as a delivery person. They rallied the staff, Lily hacked the security cams, Mr. Jenkins provided alibis. But during a tense confrontation in the garden, Victoria cornered Amelia alone. You think you can win? I'm untouchable. She revealed a deeper motive, her own abusive upbringing, a father who taught her ruthlessness as survival. Kindness gets you nowhere, Victoria spat, vulnerability cracking her facade for a split second. Amelia saw the pain beneath the monster, a relatable echo of her own hardships. It doesn't have to be this way, Amelia urged. You can change. Victoria hesitated, but pride won. She lunged, and in the struggle, Amelia's phone shattered. Evidence gone. Cliffhanger, with the wedding hours away, and proof destroyed, how could they stop the ceremony that would seal everyone's fate? Desperation fueled innovation. Elena remembered duplicates. Victoria's arrogance meant she kept backups in a cloud account. Using passwords gleaned from the ledger, Amelia accessed it from a library computer, downloading everything. But time was ticking, guests arrived for the pre-wedding gala. Alexander, now convinced by a heartfelt letter from Elena, stalled Victoria. I need time, he told her. She sensed the shift, her control slipping. The climax unfolded in the ballroom. As toasts rang out, Amelia, back in uniform, wheeled in a cart disguised as refreshments. With a projector hidden beneath, she interrupted, wait. The room fell silent. She played the evidence, videos of Victoria's calls, scanned documents, Elena's testimony via recording. Gasps erupted. Victoria's face paled. Lies, she screamed, but the proof was ironclad. Alexander stepped forward. It's over, Victoria. His parents, shocked, called security. But in a twist, Victoria broke down, confessing through sobs, I did it for power, because I was afraid of being nothing. The room witnessed not just exposure, but humanity. Resolution came swiftly. Victoria was arrested for fraud and threats, her empire crumbling. Alexander reunited with Elena, their love rekindled with deeper appreciation. The Harringtons reformed their ways, donating to charities for the underprivileged. Amelia, hailed as a hero, was promoted, not as maid, but as estate manager. She sent money home, securing her brother's future, and found her own voice, no longer invisible. In the end, as the estate bloomed anew, Amelia reflected on the journey. Fear had ruled, but courage exposed the truth, healing wounds. The inspiring message? No matter how ruthless the world seems, one act of bravery can change everything. Stand up, speak out, your voice matters. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of triumph over adversity. Thanks for watching.